Hey, hello once again, and this is Unsane21, and I'm here to talk about the upcoming patch, which is patch 5.14, and this is will be one of our patch rundowns, which I'll be talking about. So, a few things. First, um, Gangplank, Misfortune, and Ezreal. There's gonna be a lot of changes that gonna happen. Of course, we are going to be talking about this one by one, so let's get into it right now. So, first thing, there will be a new map for Aram, and it's going to be the Bilgewater Burning Tides map. So, this is in line with the new upcoming movie, The Pirates of the Caribbean, which will be coming years from now. So, say it's gonna be because of the new updates from Gangplank and other stuff as well. Like Miss Fortune gets a new update as well. She gets a pirate update, so to speak. So a lot of things happening around the rift, and this is just one of them right now. So the next update also comes in with the HUD update, which I'll be focusing on later. Another champion update will be Gangplank. Of course, if we go and load up the screen here, Gangplank will be more saltier than ever. He has at least like four uh, totally new abilities. Not totally new because the mechanics of this ability has been added mechanics on this ability right now, and he's more viable now than ever. Unlike before, who is like he has somewhat support-ish type ability-ish things and stuff like that, which kind of doesn't make sense. So first thing is the trial by fire. Every auto attack this Gangplank does, it does somewhat like damage to the champion and increases Gangplank's movement speed afterwards. So this can be it somewhat like works like the key strike by Shen, but its cooldown is somewhat, you can lower its cooldown in different ways. Next up will be of course Power Day, of course with this Q ability. Of course we all know what this is. It grants gold and stuff, but this is there's more into Parlay than meets the eye. First, when you use Parlay, it kinda gives you more it will give you like a silver serpent token that you can use to update the ultimate, which I'll be talking about right now. This is the ultimate right here. It can be upgraded into like three different forms. One of which is as you can see in as you can see in the preview here, you saw an octopus symbol, which means that that is one of the upgrades that you can actually get with Gangplank, and that particular upgrade is it deals true damage to onto champions as they go through it. So it deals more damage that way. The second upgrade that I believe I seen was that everyone in the works like an AOE buff, wherein if the team moves into that area, their movement speed increases in somewhat. And then last one would be the the rapid fire cannon barrage, which means that it you will be get shooting more cannons while the ultimate is there. Of course, they go for this remove the scurvy, so this will help Gangplank with his of course scurvy. Uh, Instead of relying on AP, this one relies more on missing health thing. So you can actually build legitimate build to tank Gangplank. So next is the power keg. And this is the part where the Gangplank becomes really more of a difficult champion to play. But if you play it really well, he is very hard to. It's hard to pull off if you're first not used to the mechanics. Then if you're able to pull it off, it deals tremendous amounts of damage because first of all, the explosion from a power keg is somewhat an AoE and true damage. Basically, the damage that it does to within the area is somewhat like almost true. Like it ignores the defense because it's harder to ignite the power keg, especially if you place it down there. It's either the enemy can actually get rid of the keg first or you blow it up. So that's the thing. So you can place more than one of these kegs and they explode into a chain, as I can be demonstrating you to you here. And there we go. So if a champion walks by, you can blow this up, and that will go up there. It's like it works like a trap, somewhat. So a lot of things that Gapnak is really awesome though. So yep, we gotta focus on him because he is he does really need an update. And this update is somewhat like good, and I really liked it. So let's go back to the patch notes. Next one would be Misfortune. Misfortune will have um, some changes. Double up will deal 150 damage on if the first shot kills the enemy unit. So attempt the target directly behind first. If no target is found, you will 60 degrees angle. Bounce angle is 160 degrees. Okay, weird. Okay, impure shots instead of like remember when Misfortune is somewhat like this. She has this if she removes the what do you call that one, the bleed cooldown, the bleed effect, that if you're hit by the impure shots, your heal will your healing factor will be 50% less. But this time they removed that. Yes, previous rules, I forgot there was something else. And instead, while you're running away, you can actually get hit by, because when you hit your minion, the strut will disappear. So what you will do is you can activate impure shots to run away quicker. So it's better for her, I guess. And of course, this still does, make will still make her more attack faster. The cooldown is a bit less, and Make It Rain is somewhat nerfed on the late game, but the early game it will be useful to have at least level one of these babies, so that whenever time you try to gank someone or helps the team in slowing down on chasing an opponent, you can have her level one deal 40% to 60% slow. So Ares charm, well, that's nothing. It's like whenever time you hit the charm on a on a monster or a minion, they freak out. So they go, and you probably have seen how they react to a charm taunt. Next one would be Shurima's champion Azir, and the passive. I didn't think that Shurima's tower was like based on Azir's cooldown. If that was the case, then it would have been OP if he had 40% first cooldown. Arise is somewhat like changed, so you have to level up Arise in order for the in order for the soldiers to be able to at least deal tons of damage. And secondly, of course, the shifting stance will no longer knock up, but will still give you tons of shield. So other than that, the Shurima's champion is still, I think he still does tons of poke damage, and basically they remove the Arise to base it on your cooldown because why? Next one would be Darius. Darius's apprehend will now give you vision. Now, if there is someone in that bush, basically, it doesn't make sense if you grant any vision anyway. So, yeah, it's cool. Echo will be they will be returning Echo back to his former glory. Timewinder will be mana less, cost less, and face dive's cooldown is quicker, which is kind of good. Makes Echo more OP, but Echo wasn't really OP from the beginning. He was more balanced. The AOE was really hard to like hit, and it's easier to walk around it unless you have a team comp that has a lot of CC to begin with, and you just have the parallel parallel convergence as the as a follow-up AoE during the time of the team fight. Next one is Elise. Elise will be getting a huge buff because the thing that they took away from Elise before was the cocoon, which has a base stun of like a pretty long stun. Basically, the stun was already long to begin with, but now cocoon will stun for 1.6 seconds on level 1. So basically, you can just leave the cocoon on level 1. You have enough time to be able to close in to do your combos, and the spiderlings will deal tons of damage before your it was I cannot the same here. What the heck? Alright, it will be based more on your ability power, and they will be moving faster. So at level 1, when you change your form, those two little spiderlings, of course, when you're trying to chase somebody down, they will be able to uh, close in and at least deal tons of damage, tons of minimum damage. Yep. Anyways, moving forward again, you have Evelyn. So her hate spikes will deal less damage on her base damage, but it doesn't matter because her hate spikes technically doesn't really do enough damage to begin with to actually kill unless you're really ahead. But her Agony's Embrace slow is increased by 10% on all levels. So if you think 70% was slow, think again. She has 80% slow on the level. So I think Agony's Embrace, if they could have at least increased the duration to 5.5 by the slow, that would have been great. Callistus, well, Pierce, okay, so nothing much. No longer damages untargetable enemies. Interesting. This is something with a bug. Why is it being played in a... Oh, never mind. Rise's Arcane Mastery stack duration has been, this champion is really weird. Nobody plays this in the... I never played a lot of Rise before right now because one, people think he's like underrated right now. He's really underrated when it comes to gold and platinum division. So what I think most of the people from the diamond division and above, they think this is somewhat a huge nerf, which is I think it is. The passive of Arcane Mastery, the stack that enables Rise to become as OP as fuck, is toned down. So whenever time he chases somebody, he needs to really like lock him down and make sure that he doesn't go away in order for the passive to really kick in. Overload's damage has been decreased, and of course spell flux damage has been decreased, and the ability power ratio has been decreased. Basically a huge amount of nerf to enable everyone to be able to fight back. But the rune prison, infinite rune prison ability is still there. So one thing I think this is somewhat like a good nerf for Rice, but it doesn't take away from his identity, so it's still all good. You just need to like farm well because this guy is like a late game champion. So yep, Tamp Ketch gets another buff. That's his first buff after his release last patch 5.13. So with this buff, he will be more viable in the top lane. He will deal tons of damage, of course. So damage bonus ratio. So yes. Then the cooldown for the Abysmal Voyage on the first level is really important because when I first used the Abysmal Voyage before, the cooldown was really long and it's really hard to pull off the escapes and the initiation with it. It's not even for initiates. Placing the right people to be able to go into the right spot to be able to do their CCs so that the real damage takers will be able to do the damage. Vayne Stumble. Yep. And Yasuo's Steel Tempest will now properly, basically some of the minor stuff here, begins upon launching the attack. So basically, if it doesn't really hit the target, let's say the minion dies first, but you already launched the attack. You have already released the bolt, the silver bolt. basically that the cooldown for the tumble is somewhat like refreshed. So it's somewhat like a buff, but it's an improved buff because we already released it, day. So why do you not keep the under like a tumble position? So yeah, other things like other item changes here, like the Hunter's Machete has been upgraded a bit. So this one is for actually for our mana using junglers. It's still not as much as a good buff because by doing the machete, giving it 4 mana per second during combat, basically you're increasing the probability that Kha'Zix will become a viable champion in the next patch, which I will be doing. Yes. Next one is the Rune Glaive. Now this will kills it for Rune Glaive as real mid. They play a lot, but for some reason they have already removed it because it is too glavy. So it will no longer do the Rune Glaive-ish damage when you hit a non-minion champion. But what if you're trying to hit a champion with the Rune Glaive? Because that is the whole point of the scenario why you bought the Rune Glaive. You will have a Lich Bane effect when you're trying to hit a target. So I don't know what they're doing, but right, Elise? This is somewhat like a Runeglaive Ezreal is a monster, yes, but it's not a monster that you cannot defeat. So you can still it's a very viable tactic because there's a lot of things that can be taken away from Runeglaive Ezreal. Seriously, man, it's like it's hard to play level 1 to level 12 with Runeglaive Ezreal. Unless you go ahead, and a lot of things have been traded off with that. So this is a new item that I haven't read for a while. So remember Zeke's Herald, that useless item, that piece of shit item that people hate, but I like it because it gives your allies like 20%, 20 damage and somewhat like good lifesteal. And that's good when you have an AD composition team, but it is kind of useless because you have to be around the area during the team fight. Nobody really likes it because even if it gives you tons of cooldown, there's lots of other items that can be built that will be improve the team fight, such as uh, Rocket of Fire and Solari, and of course and you're pushing the Banner of Command and other stuff like that. So why they built this? Well, I don't know. They can do it. Active ability is somewhat like a good thing though. So this is perfect where when you're trying to like use it on the chat on a in a carry or somewhat in your when you're chasing down. So when within 100 units of each other, you and your ally generate charges, stacking until level 100 and reach at least lasting 8 seconds. Attacking or using an ability generates extra charges. At maximum charges, causing damage consumes all increases to you and your ally's ability power by 20% and critical strike by 50% for fucking 6 seconds. Holy shit. Wow. Why the heck did they build this? I don't know why, but I like what Riot has been smoking lately. Shit. This is bad for... So I won't be playing Varus mid bottom lane anymore. If this is the case. Holy shit, this is fucking powerful. Holy shit. So yeah, that's about it. So a lot of bug fixes, the death recaps, the bug fix, the Force of Will takes the Baron. I don't know why. So the new skin, the Captain Fortune, the Cutthroat, and the Cutthroat Graves and the Cutpurse Twisted Fate, and of course the Atrix, Garen, and Quid skins. Basically, very piratey. So I like the this skin here. For like it reminds me when they were buddies before, and then Twisted Fate has to be like a jerk. But anyways, so and also I really love the Captain Fortune skin. I'm gonna have to buy this one. I have to master her. So regardless of what you think right now, so what about the changes that happened? What my thoughts about this one? Well, Runeglaive Ezreal will be disappearing, of course, and nobody would like to buy the Runeglaive anymore. So but we're getting rid of the Runeglaive effect if on other targets is something like a douchey move from them. Oh, and of course, Zeke's Harbinger is OP. I mean, if you're like an auto attack reliant champion, it's too strong. Say the least, is too strong. Okay, so since I have nothing else to say right now, and the patch is technically over, there's nothing much that happened though, but it's the Gangplank season. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so the HUD, the new one that I have been waiting for because if you can see, normally you would place the camera here when you're trying to do videos, and I think there's gonna be a lot of things. I probably will be placing it somewhere around this area here. So the HUD thing. So if you look at closely, a lot of stuff happening right now. So let's take a look at right now. So first, the lower left side of the map, I'm sorry, the lower left side of the thing is basically what they did is like really compressed everything together into one small pack in the middle of the area, which is kind of good because normally if you're doing this right, it's better that way. But when every time I play, you all guys know that I love it to put in the left because that's where my orientation and I'm checking on the map. I have to practice looking at the right now again. So next thing is that since this is available, there's not enough space for you to make mistakes. So when the only gripe right is when you're moving like the other way diagonally. But other than that, it should be good. So the next other stuff that could really affect you would be how it looks now. So it will tell you your items, your experience, your now purple. It has better graphics. Jesus Christ, what a gold! So next one is that that you need during the status of the game will be also here. So you'll be having like a green dot when your ultimate is available. You would have the unlike before when you have to press the tab button in order to check if there's a dead enemy. You will be able to see that automatically as an added icon on the upper part of your teammates icons. And if it's an ace, it's a complete D5 there. That would have been that is nice. And also the next thing that you can see when you hit the tab button, if you're looking at your options here, you can actually drag and drop the icons here so that you will be able to place who is the AD carry, who is the top laner, and somewhat. So when you're playing the game, it is somewhat like a good thing, so that you'll be able to know, because people gotten used to like having like a mainstream idea that there is always going to be a jungler, there's always going to be a top laner, there's always going to be a mid laner and jump support and stuff like that. So you'll be able to actually make sure that you'll be able to organize yourself there. So anything else that other changes made, well, I personally love the way the aesthetics look. If you can see, it kind of matches the how the aesthetics for the map or the things you do looks, except because since I'm in a different country, it looks different. So other than that, well, yeah. So this will be appearing on patch 5.14, and I can't wait to see how many bugs and glitches will appear in the screen. So if that's the case, then since there's nothing else right now, thank you so much for watching the video. I hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Now, if you personally would think the next other patches would be upcoming patches will come, since Gangplank is already something like a thing, I believe the next one would be Fiora. Fiora will be getting the update. No news. I haven't gotten any news on other champions that are being made so far. So reworks are in the horizon, but good reworks as well. So since once again, so I've been repeating myself. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.